The wedding bells are ringing. You want to wed the love of your life. The date is fixed. The invitations have been sent out. Your planning is on course. There's no stone left unturned, and everything is working out fine. But then there comes this book calling your attention to things that which are known before we got married. And it's a wonderful book by Gary Chapman, the author of the best-selling book, The 5 Love Languages. I love his punchline based on his counseling session with numerous couples. He said, before you plan your wedding, plan your marriage. So I'll be sharing the highlights that are discussed in the book, and because of the volume, I'm going to break it into a 2-part video. Be sure to watch out for part 2. And so let's get started. The very first point is that the tingles are not enough. Now, you know that euphoric feeling that you get when you feel as if, who's the person? The stomach is turning, your legs are turning into jelly, you are blushing all over the face, and you said, oh, I think I'm in love. Those are the experiences that you get when you come across a person of the opposite sex that gets you all tingling inside. And you see the person as the most wonderful person you've ever known. You want to be together at every opportunity, and you dream of sharing the rest of your lives, making each other happy. Well, the tingles don't last forever. They are always swept away by the flowing tides of married life. And if you are planning to have a lasting marriage, you won't build the foundation of your marital life on the tingles. Now, the question is, are the tingles necessary? Oh, yes, they are, but they are not sufficient. So, building on the tingles that we're saying are not going to be sufficient, you have to understand that romantic love has 2 stages. What I call the automatic tingles and the intentional or deliberate moves. The intentional moves require that you actively work on speaking the major love language of your spouse. Now, that may not be your love language, and that is why it has to be a deliberate action on your part. The love language to speak may fall under any of the 5 categories as featured in the other book of the author, The 5 Love Languages. These are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. People whose love language is words of affirmation will expect you to tell them how great they look, how nice the meal they prepared was, and they always want you to compliment them frequently. You have to actively do things to express your love to someone whose love language is acts of service. Such a person will love you for helping out with your house chores and running errands for them. A surprise gift and remembering special occasions are delightful to people whose love language is receiving gifts. Nothing matters to people whose language is quality time more than having your whole undivided attention all to themselves. And if that's your partner's love language, you show her your love by dropping the phone and listening to her while she shares her office experience with you. You also discover that she likes eating works that is meant just for the 2 of you. Physical touch happens to be the love language of some people, and what they appreciate is that gentle touch, or you holding their hands, or sitting close, and that part that you give them on the back. To discover your own love language, a 3-way step that will help is for you to observe what you respond to. What are the things that people do that get you happy? Then identify what to complain about. What are the things that people do that you tend to always make complaints on? Then also notice what are your frequent responses. What are the things you ask people to help you out with? This will help you in discovering your own love language. The statement, like father, like son, is not a myth. And of course, that will also warrant that, like mother, like daughter, is not a myth. While you may want to disagree that you took after your parents' character, the author noted that we have been influenced over the years by our parents, and as a result, we tend to carry their traits into our home marriages too. So you will do yourself a lot of good by interacting more with the parents of your intending spouse. Keep an open mind and observe the model of their own marriage. Having this knowledge will help you integrate well with your spouse because you already have insight into the marriage model that shaped our upbringing. You can solve disagreement without arguing. During the tingling moments of every union, you hardly notice any disagreement between the couple. They tend to operate at a telepathic realm of understanding that looks impregnable to any third party. Now, fast forward to the first few years of the marriage, and you see that disagreement seems to be a recurring issue in the union. You have to look first and foremost that you are going to have conflicts in your marriage. Some are going to be major, others are going to be minor, but you can resolve them without arguing, talk less of fighting. The key is to create a friendly atmosphere of listening time with the mindset that marriage is not about having my way. It is rather aimed on discovering our way. And this may result in meeting in the middle, meeting on your side or my side, or meeting later. Apologizing is a sign of strength. The modulus operandi of most people resonate with John Wayne's declaration in the movie True Grit, where John declared that real men don't apologize. But it really takes true grit to open up in confession and repentance when you are wrong, especially in marriage. The right expression will help you convey your apology and prove that you are a person of real street. So, assuming that you are late for a date, you can effectively apologize by expressing your regrets. Then you accept responsibility for what you have done wrong, make restitution by taking steps to right those decisions, and express the desire to change your behavior and request for forgiveness from your partner. That is going to prove that actually you are a man of strength. Forgiveness is not a feeling. Because of our differences and the uniqueness of our being, we often offend one another, even as married couples. And the appropriate response to your partner's apology is forgiveness. But we tend to model up what it means to forgive. So, for the sake of clarity, you should know that forgiveness does not destroy our memory. We still remember once in a while, and sometimes we remember subconsciously. So, even though the feelings of hurt may want to return after we have chosen to forgive, we must learn to take the feelings to God in prayer for total restoration of love for the person that offended us. Forgiveness doesn't remove all the consequences of wrongdoing. Sometimes the consequences will be things we have to live with for the rest of our lives. Forgiveness does not rebuild trust. You have to actively rebuild trust. For example, the case of sexual unfaithfulness may warrant the unfaithful partner to be totally open to the other partner in order to gain trust back. This may necessitate opening up your phone and mail accessibility to show that you have nothing to hide. Forgiveness will not always result in reconciliation. You still have to work on reconciling with the other partner, but forgiveness is a necessary first step to take on the path of reconciliation. That will be all for now, but for the many nuggets shared in the book, things I would have known before we got married, watch out for the part 2 of this book, and until we meet next time, move up higher in the upward way.